There's so much today that we've brought in for the Dottie Rambo magazine till I'm going to have to talk fast to tell you everything that's going on, but it's a fun day. We're at Laguna Beach to kind of get you going on location with us to see some marvelous songs today by some beautiful kids from the First Baptist Church in Van Nuys, California. Brother Jess Moody let us have at least 10 wonderful kids to sing from my new musical down by the Creekbank. They'll be doing several tunes today. We're going to be cooking on the show. We're just going to have a little bit of everything. In fact, me and the camera crew went right down to Nashville, Tennessee on my old farm, and you're going to like that. We're doing some down-home singing. I think I might even sing you a little tune there. So you want to stay around, bring the kids in, get them a Coca-Cola or a moon pie or something, and we're going to show you lots of kids on Dottie Rambo magazine. Approximately 7 years ago, I guess, a man by the name of Mr. Bob McKenzie, a marvelous producer and headed up the Benson Recording Company for a long time, talked to me about doing a children's musical. I really didn't feel then like I could write it. The inspiration wasn't there. But I started writing kids' music maybe it wasn't by accident. The Lord really started giving them to me. And my daughter Reba had a little dog when she was growing up, and he was invisible. Since she had no brothers and sisters, she traveled with Germs, her invisible dog. Well, I wrote that first, and I thought, that's pretty neat. Kids were liking it, and I was singing it. So I went on my little golf cart in my farm in Tennessee, got on my golf cart, took my fishing pole, and went up to a little lake there on top of one of our hills, sat down with my picnic lunch, and I started just asking the Lord if he would just let me tune into kids and give me something that I could take in even to the elementary schools. And that was a miracle within itself. It took me about a year to birth this little baby of children's music. And I chill really right now telling you what an inspiration it was to write to kids, because you don't write up or down to children. You got to try to stay on their level. And the Lord really helped me and gave me an insight on that. I started writing down with the Creekbank musical. I said, God, please let me get this into schools where the kids can pray again. And the Lord really gave me a miracle. I finished the musical, we recorded it. We have workbooks, songbooks, tracks, tapes. It's really been a miracle because we took it right into the elementary school, and we had parents coming forward, holding their child's hand to pray. While they sang the prayer, is there anything I can do for you? That was a miracle, but God sort of promised me that when he started giving me the tunes. On the program today, the little kids from the First Baptist Church in Van Nuys, California. Reverend Jess Moody is their good shepherd there. He let us have some wonderful children, and they were so gracious to come and just work like troopers out on location in Corona, California. It was really an exciting day to film these kids singing. They are singing 2 or 3 tunes from it. You're going to enjoy what they're doing. I want you to stay now and watch kids as kids really sing the way kids like to sing. So many times in the past, we caused kids to sing what we wanted them to sing. But I think you're going to see today with all the stuffed animals, the little live dog running around, the little boys and girls playing games, you're going to see what kids really like to be and what they want to sing. Let's let them be kids. They grow up so quickly. Really. I remember when I was made to sing such old songs I didn't understand the lyrics to. I think you're going to see kids being kids today down by the Creekbank as the kids from the Van Nuys Baptist Church sing for you.
There's crickets and tadpoles, turtles and frogs, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. There's spiders and fireflies, earthworms that crawl, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. God made the animals, both great and small, but I guess my favorite ones that there are crickets and tadpoles, turtles and frogs, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. There's spiders and fireflies, earthworms that crawl, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. God made the animals, both great and small, but I guess my favorite ones that there are crickets and tadpoles, turtles and frogs, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. God made the animals, both great and small, but I guess my favorite ones out there are lizards, green snakes, tiny tree frogs, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. There's spiders and fireflies, earthworms that crawl, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. God made the animals, both great and small, but I guess my favorite ones out there are crickets and tadpoles, turtles and frogs, down by the creek bank by the old holler log. Down by the creek bank by the old holler log.
Love, I guess, is one of the most misused words in the world. For children, love is not giving them everything they want. And love is not abusing your child. And love is not always putting your child down. Kids don't know how to cope with that. But love is sharing ourselves, giving good times, going on picnics, going to Laguna Beach, taking a swim, sharing toys with other kids, learning how to give ourselves. Kids from the First Baptist Church in Van Nuys, California, precious children that I loved working with, and all of the camera crew enjoyed it. They chose this song. It seemed to be one of their favorites. It's from Down by the Creekbank musical. And it talks about love. Love is a very special thing. It's joy and tears, it's laughter, it's running in the summer rain, playing football, climbing trees, swinging. Kids have a funny way of describing love. Wouldn't it be neat if all of us could be like kids? I watch my little Reba when she's little, play in the yard with her friends, and they'd get in a little disagreement. She'd come in crying and say, "Mom, I'm never gonna like Susie anymore." 5 minutes, I'd miss Reba. She'd be in the sandbox. They're sprinkling with a hose and playing in their bathing suits. I look out and shake my head. And I say, "God, that's so neat. If we could all learn to forgive like that, wouldn't that be great?" Because kids forget so easy, and they love so easy. It's kind of neat writing this song, because somehow I knew kids would know how to say it, like Reba knew how to show me what love really is. We can learn from kids. No wonder Jesus told us we should become as a little child, because he's really what love is.
Love is a very special thing. A smile, a tear, a soft summer rain. It has no beginning.
In an elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee, I went for a premiere of Down by the Creekbank musical with some beautiful little children. There was a little black girl, marvelous little girl, but very withdrawn and very abused. They had begged her to be in the musical, but she would not. The very last, she agreed to sing a prayer from the musical, "Is there anything I can do for you?" She stepped out on the stage, picked up her little microphone, very shy, very poor little girl. When she picked up the microphone, the tape broke. The track tape of the song, "Is there anything I can do for you?" Well, everybody gasped for breath. The producer was standing by, the director, the children's arranger and producer. Nobody knew what to do. The little girl heard the first note on the track. She picked up that first note for the pitch. She sang a cappella, "Is there anything I can do for you?" Blew us away. The Van Nuys kids are going to sing it for you now. "Is there anything I can do for you?"
Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can do for all the things you've done for me? Is there anything I can do? I'm willing to be used, dear Lord, whatever the price may be. So if there's anything I can do for you, just make it known to me. Is there anything I can be for you? Is there anything I can be for all the things you've done for me? Is there anything I can do? I'm willing to be used, dear Lord, whatever the price may be. So if there's anything I can be for you, just make it known to me. Is there anywhere I can go for you? Is there anywhere I can go for the places you have been for me? Is there anywhere I can go? Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can do for all the things you've done for me? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can do?
Okay, boys and girls, get pen and paper. We got a yummy recipe for you today. It's called Don Butler's Swedish Tea Ring. And first of all, we start with our dough, and I will right away give you the ingredients for making the dough. 2 cakes of yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 cup lukewarm water, 1 cup milk, 1/2 cup granulated sugar, 6 tablespoons shortening, 1 teaspoon salt, 7 cups plain flour sifted, and 3 eggs well beaten. Now you, of course, mix this all up real good in a bowl, which I've already done to save a little time because I know you know how to make dough. And you let that rise for 2 hours. You punch it down, and these tea rings will make 3. You can freeze the other 2 if you don't choose to make it. But this is what I have left of the dough. It's already risen. I have divided it, and it looks like this when it's really ready to roll out for your tea ring. And I already have very cleverly have one going right over here. This is the way it should look when we're ready to roll it up. Make sure all the bubbles are out. And I usually keep a little piece of paper here and take a little of that flour off so it won't be too sloppy. And then we get our butter, and we start like this. It's like painting a pretty picture. Butter is melted in a pan, and I'm going to tell you about what is in all of this topping as soon as we show you how pretty it is. We're going to do it like Mama would do it, just kind of do it quick here. Mother was always fast in the kitchen. I think that's where I got it from. This is a great holiday recipe, and you can put it in the refrigerator, and kids can have it for breakfast. And the next thing we do, we sprinkle on, I'm going to tell you the ingredients. The butter was a couple of tablespoons. Now we take a half a cup of brown sugar, and we do this little number right here like playing in the sandbox. That's the way me and Reba used to do it, like this. And of course, if you like fattening things, you're going to use lots of brown sugar. That is, if you're not on a diet. Okay, brown sugar. Then I take, this is all in the recipe for the topping. I have a cup of raisins. They don't have to be real moist, but it helps because you're going to bake this. You're probably not this sloppy, see, but I'm in a hurry. I've got to go out to dinner with Buck, and I don't want to cook. Isn't that terrible? I love to cook, though. Now we got pecans, half a cup pecans, and they're chopped pecans. And we're going to go over the little number like this. This is so good. Not that hard to do, and your husband says, that gal has been in the kitchen all day. Well, we don't have to tell him everything. Put everything on there you want. That's really all I put into this, and this is the neat little number. Just take this little baby like this, and we start rolling. Isn't that pretty? You will love the way this looks. Okay, and what we do, we just sort of squeeze these little ends in here like this, and we put it on this little cute pan right here. It's ready to go, and we bob it in the oven. I'm cooking bread in there. And then, by the means of magic television, as you will see, I already had one done. You're gonna love this. Tell me that's not pretty? Is that great? Okay, the third thing we do is the icing. We already have it all mixed up so you can see the consistency of it, the texture. It's kind of like pudding. Now, that is 1 cup of powdered sugar, 4 teaspoons of milk, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. You just stir it up real good like that, and you just sort of do a cute little number where it just sort of drips all over the place. Some of the cameramen are going crazy over here. We may feed them later. Is that great? Okay. Just put it all on if you want to. It's just according to what you want. I always just kind of come along here to make it pretty. And of course, you can put this in a great pan or bowl or dish and put a lot of neat things around it and serve it with a napkin, kind of done in a flower design. It's a great holiday dish, good for any time. You stick it in the refrigerator and bring it out and heat it in the oven anytime you need it. Hope you like this.
It's finally here, the cookbook you've been waiting for. Dottie Rambo's cookbook with recipes from some of your favorite entertainers. Throughout the years, people like Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jeannie C. Riley, and many, many more have given Dottie the recipes of their favorite dishes. And she has compiled them all into this one dynamite cookbook. You've seen Dottie bake dishes like Swedish tea rolls, Texas cornbread, hot German potato salad, pecan pie, and of course her own delicious Dottie's biscuits on her television program. Now you too can have these recipes for your very own. You won't want to miss this offer. In order to get your own personal copy for any size love gift or donation, write to Dottie Rambo's Magazine, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California 92711. That's Dottie Rambo's Magazine, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California 92711. Don't delay. Send for your cookbook today.
Thanks again to the wonderful children from the First Baptist Church in Van Nuys, California. What a great group of kids. They did a marvelous job, and as you can tell, I love working with children. We're going to do this again because kids just don't get enough of their kind of music. Now I'd like to take you on location just in a minute here to a beautiful place right outside of Nashville, Tennessee, where my favorite sweetheart Buck Rambo drew the plans and built me a marvelous house where I've written a lot of songs right out in this old yard filled with great big oak trees and with my golf cart and all this good stuff. We're going to go there and sing about home. You know, I love home as I love children, as you can tell. I've been away from home, been homesick, wanted to go home and cried. Have you ever done that? Sometimes we as adults get a little homesick too for our heavenly home. It's kind of neat. Life is good here and I live it to its fullest, but my treasures are really on the other side. I'd like for you to go with me to one of my favorite little parts of the yard where I'm singing one of my favorite older tunes. Home's where the heart is and all my treasures are there.
I'd like to paint you a picture of a world without pain. It's a storybook ending, a land with all sunshine and no rain. They call it forever beyond the last river of home's where the heart is, and all of my treasures are there. And I'm lonesome for home, sweet home. Breeze blow the clouds from the skies. Tears wash the dust from my eyes. I'm seeing much clearer. My home is much nearer by far. Home's where the heart is, and all of my treasures are there. The long, narrow highway, the road signs keep pointing me on. They make me no promise, but could be that next hill is my home. I sure hope so. Now my heart keeps beating faster. It's pushing the laughter through my tears. 'Cause home's where the heart is, and all of my treasures are there. And I'm lonesome for home, sweet wash the dust from my eyes. I'm seeing much clearer, 'cause my home is much nearer by far. My sweet home is really where my heart is, and all of my treasures are there. Home is where the heart is, and all of my treasures